American destroyer comes alongside a cruiser in Great Bitter Lake on the Suez Canal in Egypt. It brings Ibn Saud, king of the 5 million people of Saudi Arabia, to a conference with President Roosevelt, stopping off here on his return from the Crimea conference. The destroyer has been decked out with rare carpets for the monarch. This 800-mile trip marks the first time that King Ibn Saud has ever left his native land. American minister to Saudi Arabia, accompanies the king and the official delegation of 48 members. The 70-year-old Ibn Saud goes aboard the cruiser to meet Mr. Roosevelt. In cordial conversation with Colonel Eddy as interpreter, the Saudi Arabian king and American president discuss mutual problems of trade and relations with Saudi Arabia. Now welcomed aboard is Emperor of Ethiopia, Haile Selassie, whose homeland was first to be conquered by the Axis and the first liberated. He is greeted.
Now, what is Aziz Said doing around Haile Selassie? Because this man says you're Ethiopian, and Noble Drew Ali specifically said you're not Ethiopian, you're Moors, that Ethiopians are actually Moors. And we know that the Star Order of Ethiopia was in Chicago causing riots and infiltrating Marcus Garvey movement, acting as members of him too. So what is all these people meeting up on the ship called the American Destroyer? And why is Aziz Said being around when he knows that you're not Ethiopian, man? It's like they all did something. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm talking about.
Whose homeland was first to be conquered by the Axis and the first liberated. He is greeted by the president and the president's daughter, Anna Roosevelt Bodiger.
They all conspiring. Now, as far as this U.S. president, in 1929 to 33, he was the governor of New York, but his job became to fight back against the Great Depression. And Noble Drew Ali said, once things started back, you're going to be on top and it's going to be in your hands. So it was his job to fight against it. Again, why is Aziz Said, which is in Noble Drew Ali's Moorish Quran, chumming up with people who are calling themselves Ethiopian when Noble Drew Ali knows and said, you call yourself Moorish American and nationalize you good. Meanwhile, the people still starving and hurting. So all these people conspired against Noble Drew Ali. And in the Quran, it says, now the head of Mecca. But Noble Drew Ali said the Moors are the founders of Mecca. So if it was just a Moor at that time that was the head of Mecca, it'd say head of Mecca. But it says now the head of Mecca. But all these people conspired, man. Noble Drew Ali said you wasn't Ethiopian. It went down, man. They conspired against Noble Drew Ali. U.S., the Star Order of Ethiopia, NOI, connected with Mufti Muhammad Sadiq, all of them, man. Noble Drew Ali said you wasn't Ethiopian. So the Star Order of Ethiopia immediately was ready to attack. U.S. immediately ready to attack. And about Aziz Said, you know, when you open up the page in the Quran, he has his back to him. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, he eventually got Europeanized and followed after the gods of Europe and started riding bicycles, just like we'll get into the Moorish mission, but they conspired against Noble Drew Ali. Divine honors the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish divine and national movement of the world. Praise be to Allah, Islam.